Did you know that over 60% of gym goers skip the bulking phase altogether? Because bulking might be as outdated as MySpace, especially in this era of fitness. Or maybe it's just evolved. It may be the Jake Paul of fitness trends. Loud, but misunderstood. So let's dive into this and figure out if the classic cut and bulk is still king, or is this just a relic of a gym bro's past? We can all agree that bulking has been the holy grail of muscle building for decades. And it's a simple formula: eat big, lift heavy, gain muscle. But let's be honest, a little bit of fat too. And it's the same philosophy that had us wearing oversized hoodies just so we can hide a winter mass. But lately, the age-old practice has been under fire. Much like Alex Eubanks, who shocked the fitness world with allegations of taking steroids, shortcuts, just to pack on size. And the reason why I say that is within this fitness industry, especially with all the influencers out there, you see them lean year round. And for you as a viewer, as a watcher, as the follower, you're like, damn, bro, I want to be like that. And I get it. But now I personally believe that it's making people not want to bulk because you want to stay lean year round, because you want to be just like them. But here's the truth. They all bulk and they're not all that lean year round. And I'm gonna give you the exact strategy that they use to actually gain size, gain mass without any fat. But before we even get into that, I want to answer you two questions. Number one, is bulking outdated? And number two, is there a better way? If so, what is it? Because here's the truth. Bulking, yes, is simple. Eat more, lift heavy, gain muscle. But fat gain is a significant issue when it comes to bulking, especially when you don't do it right. Studies have shown that bulking, dirty bulking, where calorie intake isn't carefully monitored, can lead to significant fat gain. And that sometimes can require somebody to go an extensive cut because they overdid it during their bulk. Now while they're cutting can actually lead to reduced muscle retention. And for sometimes they don't even get out the bulking phase. They just keep on gaining and gaining and gaining. In fact, some research suggests that more than 30% gain mass during a bulking phase can be fat for many individuals. And the health consequences of dirty bulking are very notable too. Frequent bloating, elevated cholesterol is very common, and let's not ignore the psychological effects, which I think is the biggest one why you don't want to bulk, just like many other people. It's like watching your physique soften. All the hard, lean muscle you had is now covered by excess fat. And especially of this era of fitness, where you see everybody lean and shredded, you are bound to compare yourself. And for some, when it comes to comparison, it can be huge on what they do in the gym, outside the gym, but most importantly, on their phases of training. Me personally, I'm bulking right now, but I'm doing it a little bit differently, which I think you might want to hear about. Either way, when looking in the mirror, I get these effects sometimes, where I'm like, damn, I should cut, damn. Should I keep bulking? And my answer is always no. Because for me, I have a goal in mind, which is 220 lean, shredded naturally. And I'm using these next 2 years to bulk up to that with a lean bulk. And that right there is that modern approach that has rewritten the bulking playbook. It's when you bulk in a small caloric surplus, anywhere from 250 to 500. And this can help you optimize muscle gain while minimizing the fat. And there's a lot of pros, but there's also some cons to it. But before I deep dive into those two, is bulking actually for you? Because if you're over 25% body fat, whether it's dirty bulking or lean bulking, might do more harm than good. If your goal is to get lean and you care about the way you look when you're shirtless, then I would cut first. Get rid of the excess fat, at least bring it down to 18% before you even focus on bulking. Even studies show that a healthy range of 10 to 20% body fat optimizes your anabolic response and will reduce the amount of fat accumulated when you do decide to bulk. And I'll give you an example. This was me when I first started my fitness journey. Overweight, out of shape, couldn't go up and down the stairs for shit, and I needed to lose the weight before I bulked. If I bulked, I would have just been a worse version of that person. I took the excess fat, cut it down to 15%, got shredded, and once I got shredded, I just been on a lean bulk ever since. And I've been able to get stronger, stay relatively lean while doing so. Since now you know what a lean bulk is and where you should actually aim to bulk, let's deep dive into the pros and cons. And with these pros and cons, I actually want to help you when it comes to identifying the cons and how you could potentially avoid them so you can get results just like me or my client Ronaldo. We already know that when it comes to lean bulk, the pro is I can gain muscle with less fat. I can focus on body recomposition and get a better looking physique. But you may have not known that it actually might be easier long term. Because when it comes to lean bulking, especially when you do it right, you'll actually be proud and confident on the way you look, what you're able to do in the gym, the amount of weight you're able to push progressively, safely. But it's a lot easier in the mindset. Meaning while you're in that 250 to 500 calorie surplus of food, after doing it for 6 months to a year, you actually find ease in it. Meaning you're able to find ways to eat foods that you love, go out with friends, while still attaining and achieving your goals. Through lean bulking, you learn a lot. You learn how to track your calories and eat the right amount. You learn how to go in the gym and work out properly and effectively. And most importantly, you learn how to maintain muscle mass while minimizing fat. But if you just want to lean bulk and cut down and get shredded, go for it. I mean, I did it for my bodybuilding show. As well as when it comes to lean bulk, can actually improve your insulin sensitivity. Because on a lean bulk, you're not aiming to eat all junk. About 80% of the time, you're eating whole foods, food that you love and you enjoy. And then 20% of the time, you can have your fun foods. Or you could do it like me, where 100% of the time you have the foods that you love, and you just learn how to make them high protein with whole foods, while also increasing the calories. As well, it's not as big as a surplus, which is going to have a huge impact how your body feels, reacts, and responds. And last but not least, you avoid weight fluctuations. When it comes to dirty bulking, sometimes one day you eat a lot, another day you don't. And then your weight goes up, and it comes back down. And that could be highly frustrating. But on a lean bulk, if you maintain it and you're consistent, you will gradually see your weight come up. Yes, you're gonna have days where it goes up 0.1 and goes down 0.3, but it's never gonna be a huge fluctuation to where it's 8, 10 pounds, which is very easy to control and very easy to bounce back from. But now, the cons. Number one, it is challenging. A lean bulk is not for the weak. If you're just getting into fitness, I would not recommend a lean bulk. I would recommend eating your maintenance, working out, building a muscle effectively, getting your form down, and then over time you can decide what you do based on how your physique looks. And if you're intermediate, it might be for you, especially if you're eager, you want to learn, you want to grow, then a lean bulk is definitely for you. And if you're advanced, I don't need to tell you this, but it is very challenging, especially on the mind, because you're not going to see significant progress in 4, 5, 6 weeks. It's gonna come gradually. And for some, you don't wanna wait that long. Like Togi, who just took steroids to get big to get famous. But there are consequences to that, which I'm not gonna get into, but we'll leave that for another video. It's just a matter of being patient with yourself and actually allowing yourself to grow within this process. And I promise you over time, it does get easier. You're gonna start looking in the mirror like, ooh, I'm getting big and I'm still lean. Because the results, especially when you do it right, they speak for themselves. And number two is the tracking. A lot of people, when it comes to fitness overall, don't like tracking. They think it's too time consuming, when it's actually the one thing that can make a huge difference from how you look right now to how you want to look later on. And here's the thing, you can't avoid it. If you want to lean bulk, you want to get jacked, you want to get lean, you want to get shredded, give me a good 3 to 6 months of tracking. And the reason why I say 3 to 6 months is a good 3 to 6 months will give you the ability to identify which foods within your environment that you could utilize on a daily, weekly basis to actually help you attain this goal. And once you've tracked it for 3 to 6 months, those fitness goggles come on, to where now you know exactly what proteins you need, what carbs you need, what fats you need, and you know how to work around it and be flexible. So yes, tracking, it can be demanding, but if you learn it properly and you know how to do it, it could be life-changing. Con 3, you have to eat more. I get it. You don't want to stuff your face, you don't want to force eat yourself. I understand, I don't want to either. So that's why when it comes to bulking, I always say start small. Start with a 100 calorie surplus. Start with a 200 calorie surplus. Start small and slowly build your way up. If you just jump to 3,300 calories when you've been eating 2,000, no duh, it's gonna leave you full and have you looking like Santa Claus. So take your time. Gradually increase those calories every 2, 3, 4 weeks, as well as consistently show up in the gym. Watch your appetite increase as you gain more muscle. Watch the amount of food you're able to eat progressively go up. And here's the thing, if you hit a block and you need some help, I would highly recommend getting a digestive enzyme, which could be a game changer. It will help you break down food within your gut a lot faster than it already is. And it's something I always tell my clients to get, especially when they want to bulk, they want to eat more and they're having trouble doing so. Digestive enzyme. game changer. So now let's answer the question, is bulking dead? And I would love to hear your response down in the comments below. I personally don't believe so. And I personally believe that it's just changing the way that we want to approach it due to the effects of social media. We want to stay leaner while we're getting muscle, and we don't want to gain too much fat. And here's the thing, for bodybuilders, it's exactly what they're doing as well too. As well as all the influencers that you see, they lean bulk instead of dirty bulk, while being able to stay lean and build muscle at the same time. Alex Eubanks could have done this, but he took the easy route. But don't be like him. Take your time, do it naturally, and over time you will have a physique that you could be proud of. But most importantly, a physique that you know how to get. Meaning, once you've done it, you could do it again and again and again. People that hop on steroids, once they done it, they need it. You, once you've done it, you know it. There's a huge difference. I hope this video helped you with two things. One, identifying what you need to do, whether you need to cut first before you do a lean bulk, or do a lean bulk instead of dirty bulk. And number two, give you a clear idea of how to actually lean bulk, do it properly, and get the results and physique that you're looking for. Because it is possible and you can do it. I've done it. Ronaldo's done it. Jordan's done it. And if they can do it, I can do it. You can too. And with that being said, hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay blessed, stay awesome, stay beautiful. And remember, if you ever need some help, I got some free guides down below which will help you within your journey. But with that being said, have the best day ever and keep on getting these gains. Let's go!